We mentioned Phil Taylor. Darren Johnson mentioned Phil Taylor. He is, despite us all picking against him, once again the favorite with the bookies. And he did make 2 of the 3 televised finals on the senior tour last year. Being that none of us are picking Phil Taylor, who do you think should be the favorite?
Yeah, I think we know where this is going, don't we? This time next week, we are going to be talking about Phil Taylor as the 17-time world champion. But no, I think after that early exit that he had in last year's World Seniors Championship at the Circus Tavern, he said that he was going to go away, put more hours in and make sure he was better next time and more prepared. And credit to him, he made the finals of the Masters, the match play, lost out to David Cameron, lost out to Robert Thornton in the match play final where he had chances to win that game. And I was thinking back to that final, it does seem like a while ago now, and it is because that match play final was back in July. So we're talking 6-7 months ago since the last televised World Seniors event. He came through extra legs to beat Kevin Painter in the semi-finals and then lost 12-10 to Robert Thornton in that final. And again, Phil didn't quite hit the heights of before. His best average in the match play, that run to the final, was an 88. And we've got players in this field who you'd expect to be throwing 90 plus more often than not. And I think the added match practice, I mentioned the 8 players that came through the qualifiers, that the seniors tour, you've got others there who have been playing more regularly, be it local events in the ADC, the WDF, the Modus League, even PDC events playing at Q School or Challenge Tour or events like that. And I think that is going to count for a lot. So although Phil, he does carry that aura, the walk-on, the 16-time champion of the world, for some of these players, it will be the first time playing him on TV, the cameras, the stage. That is going to play a part. But looking at the odds, Phil Taylor 9-2, only a slight favourite ahead of Scott Mitchell at 11-2. And I think his pedigree of being on the tour the last 2 years in the PDC says a lot there for his odds. And Robert Thornton, defending champion, 6-1. Martin Adams, finalist last year, 9-1. For me, I'd put Robert Thornton as the favourite based on his performances last year. I know it was a little while ago now, but winning 2 of those 3 titles, I think, should put him as the favourite, beating Phil in one of those finals. Then I'd go for Scott Mitchell, then maybe Martin Adams and David Cameron close behind, then a Richie Housen in there as well, and a Phil Taylor around about 9-1, 10-1. We just don't know what Phil Taylor is going to turn up this week, and I think that's a question which is probably causing the bookies to worry a little bit, because if he does bring a better game this week, then he will take some stopping.
Yeah, and though it's not just Phil Taylor that we don't know which Phil Taylor or which insert name is going to show up, because a lot of these players we just haven't seen as much about. And the fact, as you mentioned, Scott Mitchell having played the PDC Tour the last couple of years, that is a good point. Like, that is a reason to think he'll be coming in a little bit sharper than some of the other people might. But, I forgot to mention Andy Jenkins when I was going through people in the bottom half. He did just he's been off to a very good start this year playing in the Challenge Tour. He did all right at Q School, but he made a deep run on the Challenge Tour, and he's been playing the best starts we've seen from him in a while. So he's another player who's been playing at a higher standard and playing quite a bit of darts and playing it well. Leonard Gates, who you picked to make the final, the same. And I think those are the types of players that should be favored right now. Robert Thornton, as the defending champ, as the winner of the 2 majors, I think he's the one that I would have put. But then I don't think it would have been that much ahead of people like Scott Mitchell, people like Rich E. Housen, Andy Jenkins, Neil Duff, of course, as well, who've been playing more. They should be the people who are the favorites or among the favorites. But I think it's going to be tough to see someone other than Robert Thornton get that nod as being the one who deserves to be. He's shown that he can win this event. And it wasn't just that, you go back 12 months and he won it. He was also the best player over the course of that entire event, only once averaging under 90. He's done it before. That should count. That, well, obviously will count for something in the minds of people, in the minds of the bookies. But again, he skipped Q School and he did not play as much as he had the previous year. He was obviously in a much better form entering this event. There are question marks surrounding him. I'm picking him to make the final, but we don't know exactly where his game is. But he should be the favorite. He did it last year, and he did it convincingly last year. If I had to put my money on someone, all odds being equal, I would put it on him.